introduce himself and tell us more.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ageshagu. Thank you for inviting me in the studio. And first of all, congratulations. I like your show. Critical Kenya, because it's tackling so many things that are affecting our nation, both economically, socially, and also psychologically. All right, so congratulations. So thank you so much, dear listeners. We are here to discuss very topical issues that surround our nation. And we believe that you will enjoy and also learn a lot, because this is a learning session. When you talk about Critical Kenya, this is where we shall learn a lot and also take home what you learn and also go and practice it. So thank you for inviting me.
You're very much welcome. And when we're
Yes.
talking about domestic violence, this is something that Kenyans in this day and age, and not just in Kenya, it's worldwide. It's a worldwide issue.
Absolutely.
And we need to know exactly what is domestic violence, because people just think domestic violence is whereby you being beaten, you being maybe sexually abused. But domestic violence is very much in depth. It goes to psychological.
Yes.
It goes to emotional. It can go all the way to financial. There's so many points, and we need to just expand on each and every one of these points. Like, what is domestic violence to begin with? This is whereby you find that a person is trying to exert or to gain control over you, and this is a person in a home situation, marriage, maybe a relative or a parent or your spouse. That person is trying to just own you in a very awkward way, which is not normal. It is not healthy for you or for this other person. And that is why we are talking about domestic violence.
So,
how do you know? How do you know? How can a person know the signs that they should be looking out for when somebody is being violated? It can be you, it can be your child, it can be just a relative, or maybe your friend is going through some things, and then they're like, I'm not being violated because I'm not being beaten, but they don't know. There are signs that you should be looking at.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we can sum it and say it's an aggressive behavior. It's an aggressive behavior, and you want to be aggressive behavior. And sometimes you also use physical, emotional, those. And when you talk about domestic, we are saying that it is surrounds. You know, it's not a community. It's not about the community, but it surrounds the family. When we talk about domestic violence, so we should ask ourselves, when you have a quarrel or a fight with your friend, is that domestic violence?
That is a question you should actually be listening. Is it domestic? It's not domestic because
that's not domestic, because it doesn't touch home.
Yeah.
Because we are talking about home-based. Whether it is a husband, between a husband and wife, parents and their children, and also the immediate family and other relatives. So when we talk about domestic violence, we are tackling all about that particular circle.
Very, very much true, because this is something that is going to be affecting your marriage. It's going to be affecting your relationship. It's going to be affecting the living situation that you are in, and your children, the kind of relationship around you. And you need to be looking at some key points, the signs that you should be looking if you are being violated, and you don't even know if you're being violated, because you should be looking at something like, does this person, whether it's your parent, it's your partner, do they actually look at you? Do they try to bring you down in front of your friends? They try to embarrass you in front of your friend. No one is supposed to be doing that. It's like they're trying to make you feel like you're not worthy. They are undermining your worth in front of your friends. That is a sign of pardon me, domestic violence. If this person is trying to criticize your accomplishment, they don't see them like what you're accomplishing. It's not anything to this person. You know, they're trying to show you're not doing anything, you're not achieving anything in your life. So even if whatever, they're just trying to get in your head. And that is why before it gets physical, you have to start emotional, psychologically. You have to get to the point like, you get somebody like bent, like you're just bending someone's wheel, breaking someone from inside, so that you can even be able to control them on the outside.
Absolutely.
And these are something that it's not easy. Anyone can be violated. It doesn't matter whether you are male or female. And that is why it's not just physical. Even your wife can actually violate you, can
Beat me
abuse
up.
you. You can be beaten. We have had instances whereby men are being beaten
So
up. At their
when
wives.
you talk about domestic violence, it is also good to let our viewers know when you talk about domestic violence, how exactly do you foretell that you are being abused? You all right?
Yeah.
Like when your freedom has been infringed, like when you feel like your wife or your husband or a parent's children's freedom is being infringed, then you feel insecure. And that's when you start feeling now your rights are being violated, and therefore they go on and on until now it bleeds to a domestic violence. Kwa sababu I usually say that freedom is good.
Yeah, freedom is essential.
Freedom is very essential, but freedom without responsibility will bleed anarchy in homes.
Yeah, very
all
true.
right?
Yeah.
Because even in our nation, we gained independence in 1963, but we have a constitution. Why do you have a constitution?
To govern you, to keep
To
you in
govern
check.
us, to keep us in check.
Yeah.
So just because we got independence does not mean that we're independent.
Yeah,
You know, you are free. You gain a freedom that we are free, that we can do anything. All right. That's
Yeah.
why we cannot get to any person's shop and take sugar and go home and say, you know, we regained independence.
So
Tuko na
I
uhuru wa
can't do that.
kujitawala. You can't do that. And now again, when you have been given freedom, then to avoid something that is going to escalate to freedom, to domestic violence, it is good to exercise that freedom with caution, all right? Because freedom without responsibility brings anarchy. That's why you cannot allow your husband or your man to go out or to have an affair with any other woman because she or he is enjoying freedom.
Yeah,
All
very
right?
true, very
And you cannot go kissing every woman around because you have the freedom. So
Very
this
true.
freedom. Kwanza tuingie hapa kwa nyumba,
Kwa nyumba.
kwa familia, kwa doa. Because when people hear about domestic violence, the boy child is left out.
Yeah.
All right? The person who is embraced with sympathy and pity is a woman. And we men are suffering the same. All right? We are suffering the same. Men are suffering psychologically. There are men who are being beaten up by their wives.
Yeah.
Unaelewa hiyo?
Yeah, I understand.
Kuna wanaume ambao wanadharalishwa pia na wake zao kwa marafiki zao.
Yeah, that is true. Being
Unaona?
slandered, you're being slandered.
Eh?
Yeah.
Unaenda kuambia marafiki zako that your mind does not provide enough.
Even doing what I've seen is that people go to the extent of we are not in good terms in the house, so I'm going to ruin your relationship even with the children. Like I'm going to keep telling them like what you're doing. He's doing this because I just want you to look bad. That is actually a very you should be observing these things in your house because you're being intimidated in a way.
Let me ask you a question. When does domestic violence has a boundary, or when do we say that now this is domestic violence? Because sometimes if you go to the biblical context, the Bible says very clearly that ye wives submit to your husbands as if it were Christ.
Yeah.
So the Bible compares a husband to Christ in all things. Submit to your husbands in all things, just as if it were Christ. Because if Christ would tell you one morning, don't go to church, that's Christ telling you, don't go to church, don't go to the market, don't go to that chama. If you will respect and submit to Christ, then you should do the same to your husband.
But aren't you supposed to be looking at the context? Because you're not supposed to be just told jump and then you jump. Do this and then you do this.
The Bible says in all things.
what do you mean in all things? Does it not look at the context? Because I think people are going to use that aspect to try and get you to do their bidding. It's like manipulating you using either the Bible, like you said. Like possibly in that context, we can talk about, and this is something we're going to expound on, like sexual abuse. It's a form of domestic violence. And you're like, your wife is tired, or they are sick, or they're not feeling well, and so the husband is coming and telling you, even the Bible says that your body is not your own, it's mind to control, and you are sick. That means you're not in consensus with your husband, like you want to do that at that particular moment. So is that going to be applicable? Is it not supposed to be something you should have an agreement on? And if
This is
you
how-
do not have that,
This is how it should be. Because when the Bible says that you should submit to your husband in all things as if it were Christ, and it adds that just like how Christ is the head of the church, so is the husband the head of his house. All right? So another person says, never criticize an opinion before something good is said about it, no matter how silly
yeah, the
an opinion is. Because an opinion is as good as the rest. Sindio?
Yes.
Sasa, this is how you should do it. If the Bible says in all things, that tells you that when your husband tells you, don't go to church today, first thing you should do is to submit. First of all, submit. All right? Tell Baba Kamau, it's okay, I won't go to church because you're my husband and I got to submit to you. However, and then add however.
After you have given the compliment.
Exactly, you have already submitted first.
Yeah.
So the man umemkuru. Usimwambie nitaenda na nitarudi tu hapa, utanipata tu hapa. Nitaenda na nitarudi kwa nani? Kwa huku kwako huku, nitarudi hapa. So submit first. Tell that man, it's okay when you go to church. Then tell him, you know, going to church is good. Because, one, when you fellowship with Christ and other people, you get to learn more about the Word of God. So you are now advising you know, you have already said something good. Something good is, I have submitted, I will not go. But it would have been better if we did it this way. All right? No, that you have now submitted. All right? Then hapo ndipo sasa unapigia dada kadhaa wa church. Unaambia, you know what, leo sitakuja church. My husband amesema nisikuje, please pray for me and pray for my family so that my husband can have a big heart. Lakini ukienda hiyo church na amekukataza, my friend, you will not get any blessing. The same case applies to the husbands. Love your wives. Just like how Christ loved the church and died on the cross. How many men can die for their wives? So when you get to that point now, there's a balanced equation.
So that is when you get to the domestic violence part of it. It usually comes as it's triggered by like miscommunication, stuff like that, and that's when you're going to start seeing like one person is feeling disrespected, so they want to exert a lot of their power. They want to feel powerful over you, and even regardless of whether they want to feel power, you should be in a position to know this person is manipulating you. This person is doing something to you. If they are trying to use threats to you, like an intimidation in the way they are treating you, like unless you do something, maybe you're the wife, like you're not going to be in my house, you're not going to stay here. That person is trying to limit you, to control you in everything that you're doing, which is very wrong, regardless of whether this person is your husband, your father, or your mom, because there are people who do not give respect. Like they are not, you are there in the family, but it's like your opinion doesn't matter, your opinion doesn't count. What you say, your decisions do not matter. And if you try to push your decisions, you try to tell them, we can also do this. This person doesn't want to have anybody else making the decision apart from them. They just want you to be there, do what they say. When they say jump, you jump. When they say sit, you sit. This person just want to control each and every aspect. And that is a form of domestic violence. It's a sign that is going to lead to that domestic. You're already being violated, but you don't even know. So many people are so blind to the fact that I'm being violated, and they don't even know that they are being violated. And then there's this aspect of I'm going to control you, and women, mostly women, fall victim to this. They are being told, I'm marrying you, come over to my house, like, because now we're married, you're working, I'm working, you don't have to work, because I'm going to provide for you. And you think that's a very good idea, because okay, at times it may be a good idea, but look at the core. What is the core primary intention for this person? If they are trying to tell you, maybe if I don't really see the real reason why a person should tell you stop working, because if you're not working, that means you're going to be dependent financially on this person. This person is maybe trying, maybe they are smart enough to know, if I tell you stop working, this person is going to be coming and telling you, oh, ABCD, this is what I want from you. I don't want you to go with your friends, I don't want you to hang up with your friends, I don't want you to go to work, I don't want you to go to school. But because they don't want to do that, they try to tell you, you don't have to, I can provide for you. But when you provide for that person, this person is going to be so much dependent on you. So they're going to be using their monetary, like their financial gain against you. They're going to be telling you, you know what, if you want me to do this, you want me to help you financially, you're going to have to follow my rules. You're going to have to actually be the one doing ABCD. Whatever I say, you do it. If you don't do it, I'm going to like push you outside the house. I'm going to kick you outside the house. So when you kick someone out the house, you're trying to exert your authority over them, which is very wrong. So that is a form of an abuse. If someone is doing that to you, you're being abused. And you don't know it. It's not in the name of love. There's no love there. Because this person is controlling you.
There is an issue that we are running away from. And before we come to if this is a form of harassment or it's a form of domestic violence, we should ask ourselves. Because before the term domestic violence was, there was love, there was unity, there was togetherness, there was oneness, there was a family, all right? Before, we know the word domestic violence.
The abuse.
Yes, the abuse. There was friends, there were friends. So there is a place where the rain started beating you. Whether it is this relationship between parents and their children, the wives and their husbands, or husbands to their wives, before. Because when I married you, I've not married you. When I married you, you were working.
Yeah.
That's the truth. You were working. So you had your own money. All right? I married you with full conscience and full knowledge that you are working. All right?
Yeah.
You knew I was working as well. Sini kweli?
True.
Why then should I come and tell you now you got to stop working and stay in the house and take care of our household duties and manage our, our house and our children while I'm working? Before a man get to that point, there must be somewhere where the rain started beating you. One, either this woman, this wife, started showing or portraying before his man about her financial muscle. All right? And man spelled, they spelled something negative. All right? If you start now praising your money and say I'm the one who bought this television, I'm the one who did this, oh blah blah blah, I got my money, I need to go out with my friends because I'm not asking you for money. Let's be practical. I'm not asking for money. I got my money, I need to go out with my friends. So that tells you now the work that you're doing, that employment that you have, it is not beneficial to our family, all right? Or else, when a wife gets the money, or the husband gets her salary or his salary, inafaa ikuwe open, all right? Uniambie, this amount of money that I earn, unazileta kwa meza. Kama ulichukua advance, I took advance, this is my advance, nilikatwa pay as you earn and as you pay, whatever. Then, hii ingine tunaekelea kwa meza. So there must be somewhere before a man comes to a conclusion kwamba my wife will not work again. Before you call it violence. All right? Because that's why I asked you, is there a boundary? Is there a place where violence, of domestic violence is termed nowadays for domestic violence. Because if you cannot account for your money as my wife, to me, because you're accountable to me, not to yourself, you're accountable to me. If I cannot account for my money to my wife, then that's Paul's doom. Kuna kitu kitaharibika. Unaona? Na hapa sasa mahali mwanaume anakuja kuambia now from today you will not work. Ukae kwa nyumba. I got enough money to provide for you and for my children.
That is not even the instance that is actually bothering people right now. It's whereby you're good, both of you are working, both of you are earning. But now this person, they're not viewing that from that perspective, like you're giving, like this person is seeing like the wife is being disrespectful before because she's earning this money and the amount, or she's doing this with her money, which is not helping the family. The point is whereby this person has a narcissistic tendency. They just want to exert control over you. And this is not something they just start there. This is something they have got used to doing. It's just because they hadn't caught you. They didn't get you under their crows before, so they needed to rear you in, get you in the marriage, give you some little bit of time. Actually, they do this with a lot of love when they're telling you, I can provide for you, I can give you A, B, C, D, I can give you all the things that you want me to give you, I'm going to give them to you. And then you're going to be lured in with the notice of, you're my wife, you're not supposed to be working, I can do that. But the real aspect is the intention of this person. The intent, what is the intention? Are they doing that out of like generosity, like you're not supposed to be working? And exactly, guys, you do tell me, please do comment and tell me, would you like a working wife or do you want a wife who's sitting in the house, first of all? Because at the end of the day, you might lose your job also. And that means now we're going to have financial instability even more. When your wife is working and when you're working, you both should be in the same, you're pulling your resources, you're having this plan to implement everything.
No, that's the most poisonous now thing. It's unfortunate for a man losing a job. It's unfortunate because
but it does happen.
No, we're in this game. No wives, not many wives who can parent for 2 months without complaining. And you have been with this woman for the last 10 years paying rent. It's like it's your responsibility, all right? And it's not your responsibility. So anybody, because why are you fighting? Why are you fighting with you as my wife? Because one, you're not accountable, all right?
What if we're talking about this person, you are a responsible woman, this person, you have your own job, and this person is trying to come to you, and they're like, that's why I'm saying the intention is not like disrespecting even the husband.
What is bringing the fear? The fear.
Then this person is the one who has insecurities.
Exactly,
fear. They need to deal with the insecurities before they get there.
That's my point. This fear is type of a false evidence that appears to be real. It is not there. It's like how you can say, sitapitia ikajia, kwa sababu kuna giza. Unaogopa kama you may be attacked along the way.
In the darkness,
in the dark,
for you.
Exactly, but you have no evidence. So that's why I call fear. It's a false evidence that appears to be real, but it's not there. So it's like sometimes men feel insecure because their wives are working.
They don't see the aspect
but
of stability.
You did not express these fears when you were dating because I found you working. Tulipatana kwa ma conferences probably. You were working. Then when we get married, why
want to change her?
Exactly. Why do you want to change her? No, this is where the violence will start. Hapa sasa ndio code war itaanza.
So now, guys, I hope, I'm really looking forward to your comments because there's a lot. This is not just something you can even finish up today. Because when somebody is being violent to you, you're going to have to look at those telltale signs. What this person is doing, how they are treating you in front of other people, how they are treating you with your own children. Because violence is not about you're just being beaten up or you are sexually abused. Somebody is going to play mind games with you professionally. Somebody is going to do things with you. And that's what it's bringing us to the point of the types of domestic violence. So that you just don't, you're going to find yourself, even you, dear viewer, when you're listening to this point, do tell us, have you ever experienced any of these signs? Have you ever felt any of these, like your partner or your father or your mom is doing something like this? Maybe you just had the mentality of domestic violence being just physical, being beaten up, being kicked, being thrown out of the house, being abused sexually. But there's so much more to domestic violence than meets the eye, and that's why so many people are suffering and they don't even know it. They don't even know that they are suffering with, like, somebody is being mistreated. Even your friends, go listen to their stories when you're talking. Listen keenly, because you might just be helping someone or hear something from someone, and then you get to remember, okay, that is a sign of domestic violence. And so these are things that, how do you get to know? What level are you? Are you being sexually abused? Are you being stalked? Because even stalking is a form of domestic violence. Are you being stalked? Have you been physically beaten? Are you being emotionally tormented, psychologically tormented? All these aspects, these are signs, and these are the most important. So we're going to actually dive in into the key points. Like, do they blame you for, even somebody can just come and blame you for how they're feeling. They're going to come and tell you, they got annoyed at work, but they're coming to bring all that stress to you. There is a home-based thing. When you are working, that is work, that is professionalism. When you go to your house, that is another place, that's another setting. So whatever happened at work, leave it at work. Solve it out there. Don't come bringing your bad moods to your wife, bad moods to your kid. They have nothing to do with that. And that's why when somebody is bringing you some tension from work, they are violating, because they are crossing a boundary. They shouldn't. They're bringing their baggage from work home.
Absolutely.
Keep your workplace, like keep your work from home. Yeah.
In fact, before we get there, Mkopa.
Did you just say Mkopa?
Mkopa, they are practicing domestic violence. Yeah, to Mkopa. They have switched on my phone. I actually wanted to read some SMSs from Kimenda Finance. She's in.
Yeah.
And she's saying that your show is amazing. When I was about to read, Mkopa came and switched on my phone. This is violence.
Okay,
This is psychological violence. Sasa kama hii Mkopa. Kuziba simu yangu. When I was about to read some it's unfortunate.
Okay,
It's unfortunate. Now,
let me check. This is
yeah. Ndio sasa nikuja hapa. Ni kweli ni sawa sote.
So Kimenda Finance is saying, hi Winnie, your show is amazing. Watching from Kimenda, the show is extra blazing. Thank you so much. And we have Celine James, amazing. Thank you so very much, guys. We need your feedback on this, because we need to know what are you going through out there. Whatever you're going through, we need to know, because apart from him being violated from Mkopa, there are more serious things.
Wamenikosea sana.
So we're dealing. Okay, let's talk about emotional abuse. Emotional abuse is where somebody is undermining your self-worth. Like they're doing that through constant negative criticism. This person sees nothing positive about you. They're always trying to bring you down. They're always trying to get in your mind, trying to show you like, you're not worth it. You're not up to that level. You are something, you're just down below somewhere. And this is actually damaging your reputation. They can be damaging your reputation with your friends, damaging your reputation with your family, with your children, everyone in your circle. They just want you confined in a small box whereby they can use you as a puppet. They're going to be controlling you.
This is emotional.
Yeah.
This is emotional. To add on that emotional violence, it's also good to say I think it's the worst.
It's the worst, because this is something you can't touch.
It is the worst because your husband is not be beating you up.
It's not something you can take a painkiller for.
Cold war.
Yeah.
Cold war. All right. And this cold war affects your emotional being. All right. Maybe by the time we married, you had a good shape. But when you give birth and along the way, the figure that I saw mara ya kwanza, it's no longer there. So as a man, you start now feeling attracted to someone else. And when your wife asks you why, and you say, you know what, you don't know how to take care of yourself. You look at your shape. This is not how I saw it. You know, the man forgets that those people who love truly love for no reason, because when the reason is no more, then love flies out of the window.
True.
All right. So this emotional damage is worse than even physical damage, because this is what leads to ulcers, to depression, and
codependency.
Exactly, like. Our husband is never appreciated home. the wife does not appreciate you, unakuja na mkate, badala aseme thank you daddy for the bread and God bless you because tomorrow I know when you come back, you come home, you know God will bless you with some money and then you come with a packet of milk. When you buy her a top, she anaivaa lakini anasema sasa hii itakuwa inamachishwa na nini? Unaona eh? This woman does not appreciate anything.
This
all right?
person is undermining your efforts.
Yes.
They don't see anything good. So everything you do is just
Yani unambaya ka top. And she's like, listen, Kikuyu unaona machitha yake. So, yani umenunua tu hapo kupata kaskat ama katrouser. You see eh? So, alafu mwanaume akipata bibi yake amenunua good curtains. A woman expects a man to come and say, wow, this house looks beautiful. Ah, congratulations. Where do you get this? You know, this looks amazing. Ah, I love you.
The appreciation is not there.
It's not there. So this woman will not talk. Amenyamaza. Hajakuwa appreciated. Exactly. She's being tortured emotionally.
You're being emotionally
and if you ask this man, you say, no, I don't appreciate my wife because she does things behind my back. I don't know why she got this money to buy these curtains. Kwanza hata ile pesa unampatianga hapa anabakisha anaingia kwa chama. Akona chama mingi na hizi chama sijui hata ziko gapi. Lakini mimi naona curtains zimenunuliwa. So it's always good to have that conversation. Men don't like surprises. Let me tell you. You don't like surprises. Surprises are not for us. So you cannot come one day and surprise me. With something that I feel as a man is my prerogative.
For you to actually be the one to provide for us.
Yes. You feel like the person should do that.
This is actually, this is even more intense. So beware of emotional abuse because
they get shocked.
It's going to be like
amefungulia simu.
Undermined. You're being undermined in everything you do. No one is being like, they're not appreciating you. Everything is just negative criticism. And when you actually maybe threaten to leave this person or you just want to leave, this person decide, you know what, if you want to leave, they threaten to hurt you, hurt your family, or hurt your kids, or even hurt themselves. So you're going to be emotionally confined to that person because they're even threatening to cause harm to their own self. Which is actually, that is very manipulative of a person. They are the one doing damage to you, but if you want to leave the setup, you have tried talking to this person, they don't want to hear, you want to leave that setup, this person now comes in with a victim mentality and they're like, no, don't do this, if you do this, and then they add the threat on top of that. If you do this, I'm going to hurt you. If you do this, I'm going to hurt the kids, because probably they're going to say, you're not going to live with my kids. You're going to leave them here. So if you leave, this person is going to come and they're like, oh my goodness, you're not going here. If you leave, I'm going to hurt these kids. If you leave, I'm going to hurt you. If you leave, I'm going to commit suicide. If you leave, I'm going to hurt your family members.
Anakaa tu hapo. So you're just being confined and you don't know you have a voice. You don't know that. And the other thing is we have like economic abuse. And this goes back to the point where you are being made to live, or financial abuse. This person is going to try everything and they're going to make sure like you have stopped working, you have stopped going to school. They don't want you anywhere that you have your own stability. When your stability is coming in, this person knows that's a loophole. I'm not going to have total control over this person. And that means for this person to actually control you, they're going to make you leave your job. So again, listen to these women. When someone makes you leave your job, it's not like they love you. Try to look at the underlying factor. What is this person's main intention? Are they trying to, do they have a hidden agenda behind that? Be very focused, be intuitive. Ask questions. It's not gospel truth that when a man tells you to leave your job, he doesn't necessarily love you. Because we said sometimes the responsibilities in your family might be immense, and you get to a point whereby now you sit, talk, and say, now we have, like, you know, we should not talk like people are living in town. All right? Wengine naishi kwa mashambani. Nimekununulia ng'ombe 2 hapa za maziwa. Who be taking care of these cows?
You will be.
Unaona kama mambo ya shamba, tuko na kashamba pale. Yani there are also wives who would want to stop working, all right? To stop working so that they can take care of the household, all right? So when a man gets to a point now to force you to leave your job, it is true that he doesn't love you. All right? He doesn't and then like anything good from you. Anataka kukuweka kwa cage. Ndio ya kucontrol. Let me tell you, I have a friend who went through that. This kind of a person, a man who cannot even love to see his wife dress smart. Because he thinks in his mind that atapendwa. So, atakubaya zile nguo zimechaka because uko home mabagi, hataki hips zako zionekane kwa sababu anafikiria utapendwa huko nje. Lakini anadunga kasuti, anadunga vizuri, kakiatu kazuri, lakini yeye mwenyewe he doesn't want you to look smart. That's one. He does not give you money for hair care. All right? He doesn't want you to start any business. So you are confined to stay in the house and take care of your children. Or this man is out there sleeping with another woman. All right? Out there. So this lady suffered psychological and financial violation. Because she would be given an ATM to go and withdraw like 40,000 to go and pay mafundi wa kujenga. Akiangalia balance, anaona balance ya bank ya mumewe is almost 5 million. Lakini huyu mwanaume, he leaves 200, sometimes 100 kwa nyumba, and jioni ana expect kupata chakula. Unaona?
Yeah.
Na sasa huyu mwanaume akifika kwa nyumba, anataka upate list. You must have a list of how you spent that 200 shillings.
So everything is
so
just
ulibai kitunguu ya 200 shilingi 10, ukabeba mafuta ya taa. He want to see. Sasa you dem alikuwa nasikia tu gari ya bwanake anajikojolea.
It's not funny, but
you see?
Yeah.
Sasa these are the kind of men who should be expelled from the society. Because that's not a man. You know, because the man want to remain superior and the ego, unaona, the ile ego ya mwanaume. Superiority complex. Now, your wife can be loved. And that's obvious. Hata mabibi zetu kupendwa. It depends with how you react as a wife. Kwa sababu kwa hiyo mambo ya mapenzi. Unaona? Na bibi yako akipendwa, you should be grateful. Because watu wanaona uko na kitu mzuri. Unaona? Lakini sasa hapo si pale tunasema ati ukipendwa pendeka. Hapana. Appreciate.
I'm not
unfortunately, thank you.
Thank you for your compliment, but I'm
yes,
not available.
But no. But now if you don't compliment your wife in the house, somebody's compliment her outside there.
She's going to accept the compliments.
So she'll accept the compliment.
Okay, guys, this is going to be really interesting.
Yes.
The other part is sexual abuse. Sexual abuse is you're being forcibly, and please underline the word forcibly, being involved sexually. This person is forcing you to have sex with them. Or what do you call this? A child is being forced, because this is abuse. It can fall on anyone. A child is being abused sexually. We have had scenarios whereby children are being molested by their parents, by their relatives. And so when that is happening, that's a form of an abuse. That's domestic violence. And it doesn't matter whether this kid is male or female. It doesn't matter whether it's your husband or because even husbands get molested. You're tired. You don't want that. It's not always like you just want sex all the time. And then you're being forced to do that. Not only women get molested or abused sexually, and then you're like, this person maybe is coming and dictating your dress code. They want you to dress in a provocative way, and you're not comfortable with that. And remember, I'm saying you're being forced, not where you're doing it out of your own free will. You're dressing sexually, like in an appealing way for your husband or for your wife. We're talking even the kids in the house. You just want to see them dressing provocatively, and they're not even comfortable with that, which is very much disturbing. This is disturbing to this person, and you're not comfortable. Again, if the person is holding you down during sex and it's not your will, it's not your intention, I have to keep insisting on somebody is holding you down during sex, and that's not what you want.
What is holding you down? What is it? What is the meaning of that? Holding you down?
Holding you down is like either tying you up like during sex. You haven't given the person consent.
Anashika hii mguu anafungilia pande ile.
Oh my God.
Anashika hii anafungilia pande ile na mikono anafungiliwa kwa kitanda. So that's a violation of her rights. Secondly, when you come about sexual abuse, sexual violence, also when someone denies you your conjugal rights, that's also domestic violence.
They're
That's
denying
sexual.
you something that you should be given.
Yes,
And
that's, you know,
it's your right to have
there's
it
no
for
way kila siku unakuja kwa nyumba unasema umechoka, you're stressed up, a wiki inaisha, pili inaisha. That tells you this woman or this man is seeing someone else. He's being satisfied somewhere.
Yeah.
Because men cannot stay without sex. Also women cannot stay without sex. Now, when you deny your man, unaona, why have you denied this man? One, probably this man is a bully, all right? So you're not like any other woman who's, you know, who is touched kidogo by your husband and you feel like, wow, let's go to bed. Lakini kuna mwingine ukimguza tu hivi anasikia kama ni porcupine. Kuna mishale ya kunungunungu.
Oh my God.
Yani,
Get serious.
yani, yes.
Serious.
You know me, I usually hear so many stories. So many stories. All right?
Yeah.
There are men who think, and here I'm talking to men, there are men who think that sleeping with their wives is their right. It's a right. Unaona?
Yeah.
He doesn't care about you as long as hii kitu ni yake na wewe ni wake, so yeye anaamini it is his right. All right?
Have you.
To have you.
Anyhow, anywhere, it doesn't matter.
Such
whether
that women who are my good friends, wengi wamepotelea nyumba za watoto.
So you
Wewe ukinihitaji utakuwa ukiniambia na leo maneno, wewe uko wapi? Hebu kuja na huku. Unakimbia kwa bedroom. Mwanaume anamaliza haraka haraka anakwambia enda unaenda kulala kwa watoto. You don't even feel comfortable spending a night in the same bed
with your wife or
your husband because ni kama kuna mishale kama inakubea nungu. Kuna mwanaume anasikianga tu bibi yake akimwambia it's time to make love. Mwanaume anasink. Anastuka. Kwa sababu this wife always criticizes the man when he's doing the act.
So he's not even confident.
Sasa sijui sasa wewe ni mtu wa sekunde 10. Sasa akimaliza, mwanaume akimaliza anamwambia hata sijatosheka. Unaona Sasa hata wakati mwanaume, because you need to read the manual. Ninakwambia hivyo siku nyingine. Mwanaume akiwa hapo, mawazo yake yote
iko hapo.
Macho, masikio, mwili wote, kila kitu kiko hapo. Na hakuna kitu mbaya kama kumwambia mwanaume anashindwa. In fact ukimwambia anashindwa atashindwa zaidi. Unaona? Sasa huyu mwanaume ukienda kwa chemist jioni. Gadhaa ya kufunga chemist jioni tao. Siku moja go and try. Utapata customers ni wanaume. Wanafanya nini kwa chemist? Wananunua tudege. Huyu tudege ni tu kumfanya at least akae.
Last long.
Wanakuja last long akae pale. Sasa anasahau kwamba anaharibu mwili wake. Itafika mahali sasa itakuwa addictive kwamba you cannot do it without kadege. Unaona? Without kadege. Sasa mwanaume huyu, why is he going to that direction? Kwa sababu kule kwa nyumba
he's being criticized even.
Yes, he's being criticized kwamba kuna kitu unafanya. Somebody that friend of mine told me. This made me laugh.
Oh my God.
Aliniambia, Kongoya, imagine you're that friend of yours. That friend of yours sasa ni girlfriend yake. who is also my friend, that friend of yours, imagine mimi namwambia try to improve as far as our sexual life is concerned.
Spice it up.
Kwa sababu wewe ananiambia kwa simu, kwa sababu huyu akishamaliza, akishafika kileleni anachoka, anasema hataki tena, unaona. Alafu Tedimo akamwambia
get serious.
Tedimo akamwambia, why are you complaining and I've not had any other man complain? Jamaa kastuka, ati did you see what? Ati why am I complaining?
That's comparison.
Why am I complaining? Na sijaisikia mtu mwingine akicomplain that the woman has been sleeping around with other men. She is complaining. Yeye akifika hapo wengine wanatoshekanga, hata wanatosheka. Wewe mbona utosheki? Unaona? Jamaa alizimikia hapo na waliachania hapo. Hiyo tu.
So sexual abuse can be whereby violation, let's call it sexual violation, can be whereby you're being forced or you're being denied your right. It's either you're being forced or being denied. Again,
na tunafika hapa kwa sexual hapa kwa sexual abuse.
Yeah.
Tunawabia solution ya hapo.
Yeah, you have to know, like, how do you actually know? How do you, like, also let's talk about how do you heal that? Because when it comes to sexuality, unless it's a child you're forcing into that is very wrong. That is so very wrong. And again, also don't beat up your partner and then demand sex after that. That's not how you resolve conflict. So how does this person be in a position to resolve, like, what they want? Their sexual life, like, are we supposed to come into a consensus whereby if I'm tired and I don't feel like having sex today, not just every other day I'm tired. No, if I don't feel like having sex today, you're supposed to understand. If you want this, maybe we can try it later. How do you find a middle ground, a common ground whereby it can be settled at that point?
Yes, actually, first of all, avoid using the word having sex, because it's only prostitutes who have sex.
Making love.
But those people who love each other, they make love. No. There's a covenant. Now, because love is sweet and sex is good, the release is stress. It's all about communication and good preparedness. All right? And also the perception. All right? Good communication, and thus communication is effective, as we said.
Not just communication, but effective.
It's not only communication, but effective communication. Yeah, ati you understand your spouse. All right? Sometimes ameshinda home, amefua nguo the whole day. Hata unafika kwa nyumba bado hajamaliza kuanika. Amechoka. Wewe umeshida kwa ofisi, umekalia kiti, umeshida ukizunguka na kakwambia tu hapo, bibi yako ameshida amechoka kwa nyumba. Nikwambia today I'm not in the mood, actually I'm too tired. And because you want to make her happy, it's not to make yourself happy. You want to make your wife happy or your girlfriend happy. All right? You should allow her to rest. And let me tell you, and this I'm speaking to men, there's nothing sweet and good like that love-making session that has been pioneered or initiated by a woman. It is the most beautiful thing.
So you guys are listening. I hope you're listening to this.
All right?
Because it's very important.
Prepare your wife. Good morning, good morning. Sometimes you have to wake up. Kama leo unataka kujitayarisha, leo lazima keige, leo lazima kirenyaga kiwake moto. Prepare your wife in the morning, or your man. Unaona?
Yeah.
Or you prepare him. All right?
Like
Amka. Yes. Amka asubuhi, wake your husband, prepare, when I prepare, ama wewe mwanaume, amka asubuhi. Nenda prepare breakfast when your wife is asleep.
Breakfast in bed.
Yes. I don't want baby, wake up, the breakfast is ready. That woman, for lack of a better word, she'll wait. Hapo.
Okay,
unaona?
Guys.
Jioni, sasa from there unaka message kidogo. Unakaa umemwacha kwa nyumba na umemwachia pesa ya kupika.
Si unaenda unamwacha hivyo.
Jioni asubuhi msajili anamwambia I've sent you 500, go and buy yourself a drink. Woohoo, my friend.
Okay.
Jioni ukifika atakuuliza unaanza kwanza kuoga
ama
kukula chakula ama mimi. Tuanze wapi? So that woman is prepared. And then have enough time kwa nyumba. You know, go and take a bath together, mkumudhe, akuoshe. Unaona? Mnaenda kwa shower, mnajimwagia maji pamoja, mkicheza pale hivyo.
Guys, we are going to ask for another session so that we can do this again. I've been your host, Winnie Njuguna, and this has been a very, very learning process, and with Mr. Kongoya Swahili hapa. So tune in next time. Do really, really take care of yourself. Observe your friends if they're going through like any form of abuse in their homes. Listen to them, listen to their stories, help them out, show them what they're supposed to do. So thank you very much. Until next time, God bless you.
John Deborah, Bonnie Boss, Grace Celine, did read the message.
Nilisoma. Ukumbuki nikisoma. Good.
Tinakwambia aje?
Yeye manze iko off. Ametoa online. I mean live yani.
Kwa nini?
Si time imeisha. Alikuwa ananiambia mnapewa 45 minutes hivyo. Hey, that thing is so hot. We need to do that session again.
Kwanza hapo kwa stock nilikuwa nataka kwenda kuchangia, lakini sasa
ndio ananiambia, alikuwa ameniambia like 10 minutes ago. Wrap up. Kamwambia kiana kaza kwanza nitupelekane kiasi, hatuwezi kata tu tena pap. So we need another one. Hey. Ati nini? Sasa uko na shida gani nikiwa studio? Uenda huko. Really take your... Ati tutoka studio.
Ndo nalikia thawaka. Anakuwa thawaria. Zikulegete.
Neguo.
Yani, tana kigwika.
Very good morning to you, my beautiful viewer, and this is an... Where do you feel tigana ni? And that means now we're going to have financial stability even more.
This videos, this